In the headlines, Finnish court sentences Simon Ekpa to 6 years in prison for terrorism offences. Coalition sues police over political gathering ban. Governor Bago dissolves cabinet, retains SSG and chief of staff. And on the foreign scene, over 800 killed in Afghanistan earthquake. Good evening and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. A district court in Finland has sentenced a leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, to 6 years in prison for terrorism. Ekpa was arrested by Finnish authorities on 21st November 2024 following an investigation by the Finnish National Bureau of Investigation into allegations of inciting terrorism and promoting violence through social media, an activity that was believed to have contributed to unrest in southeastern Nigeria. Following his arrest, Ekpa was remanded in custody by the Payatame District Court, which determined that the charge was based on public incitement to commit a crime with terrorist intent dating from August 2021 to November 2024. During the trial, the NBI froze Ekpa's financial assets as well as those of his associates and related companies. Back home in Nigeria, another leader and founder of the proscribed IPOB, Nnamdi Kano, is detained in the custody of the State Security Service over terrorism charges brought against him by the Nigerian government. The military high command on Monday warned any individual or organization sponsoring terrorism against Nigeria while hiding in foreign lands to stop forthwith before meeting their Waterloo. It said the 6-year jail term handed to the separatist Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa by the Payatame District Court in Lahti, Finland, was a clear sign there is no safe haven for groups who sponsor or encourage acts of terror against Nigeria. Trust TV reports that Ekpa, according to a Finnish news outlet, was sentenced to 6 years in prison for terrorism offences after the courts found him guilty of participating in terrorism activities. Reacting to the developments, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, said Nigeria would not in any way tolerate anybody that wants to destabilize Nigeria or any other sovereign nations. Musa, who spoke via a statement signed by the Director, Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, described the ruling as a landmark victory in the global effort to combat terrorism and violent extremism. Meanwhile, the federal government has described the conviction of Simon Ekpa for terrorism-related offences and other charges by a Finnish court as a major victory against terrorism. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, stated this while reacting to Ekpa's sentencing to 6 years in prison in Finland on Monday. Ekpa was found guilty of participating in the activities of a terrorist group, inciting the public to commit crimes for terrorist purposes, engaging in aggravated tax fraud, and violating the Lawyers Act. The court ordered that he remain in custody. The judges found that he supplied those groups with weapons, explosives, and ammunition, and encouraged followers on X to commit crimes in Nigeria. The trial, which ran from May 30th to June 25th, 2025, included 12 days of hearing, with a panel of 3 judges unanimously delivering the verdict. Now, following the recent attack by suspected thugs during the ADC meeting in Kaduna on Saturday, some members of the coalition have filed a suit before the Federal High Court in Kaduna. The suit is against the Inspector General of Police, the Kaduna State Commissioner of Police, and the Nigeria Police Force. They are challenging what they describe as the unlawful suspension of political gatherings in Kaduna State by the police. Speaking shortly after the suit was filed by Farouk Ahmad Dikko, coalition member Yusuf Shehu Bello said a Nigerian constitution guarantees the right of freedom of expression, assembly and association. According to him, the police have no legal authority to suspend political meetings.
Why we are here is that we file a suit against the IGP, Nigerian Police Force, and the Police Commissioner Kaduna State Command. Our reason is that for the incident that happened on Saturday, on 30th August, which ADC holding meeting for their interim political gathering while talks interfere, and most police personnel with high number, more than 10 cars are there, but do not take any efficient action and reasonable action there. So why we filed this case here in the Federal High Court is that there is a lot of breach of fundamental human rights, and the suspension that the Nigerian Police Force released on their press release is unauthorized and unconstitutional, because Nigerian Police Force do not have the grounds or any legal backing to suspend any political gathering from the opposition.
Now, the Niger State Governor, Muhammad Umar Bago, has dissolved his cabinet. The governor, however, reinstated the Secretary to State Government, the Chief of Staff, Deputy Chief of Staff, and some principal officers in his office. According to Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Bolagi Ibrahim, a dissolution was announced during the State Executive Council meeting at the Council Chamber in Government House, Mina, on Monday. He appreciated them for the services they had so far rendered towards the development of the state and wished them the best in their future endeavors.
Yeah, this is a midterm review of our performance, and if you know very well, these people were appointed by me, and I've decided, you know, in the interest of every other person, to reject the cabinet, to dissolve them. Some may be reappointed, some will be treated to other portfolios. New people, fresh energy, fresh blood will be brought into the system.
Have you got anything to do with their performance so far?
Yeah, some have
with their performance.
No, some we have done. They have their KPIs. Some have exceeded their KPIs. Some have not. You know, and some have also. We have found out that they have other strengths in other fields, and this government is too large. You know, it's large, and we can deploy people to different portfolios. So, being a commissioner, an advisor, or the general doesn't really matter. You know, we can treat it. Even a permanent secretary, you know, can turn out to be a commissioner, and can be a permanent secretary. Just to treat it, to put people in the right track, so that what we have set out for New Niger will achieve. So far, so all of them, you know, it's a validation we had, and we are all grateful for their contribution. What we have done cannot be allocated to me; it's a collective responsibility. But as a whole, yes. But individually, some have weaknesses.
Can you tell us some of the ministries you think they could have done better? You think they could have performed better?
Don't worry, you'll get it when I do.
And now in other news, the Lagos State Enforcement Team has dislodged illegal street traders operating along Bishop Oluwole Street in Victoria Island. The State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, announced the development in a post on his official X handle on Monday, stating that the operation was part of ongoing efforts to restore order in the state. Wahab noted that traders had been urged to relocate to government-approved markets and commercial zones, warning that repeated violations would attract stiffer penalties. The state government has in recent months intensified its clampdown on street trading and illegal structures across major roads in Lagos. The Ebonyi State Police Command has confirmed the killing of a middle-aged man identified as David Anoke by yet-to-be-identified gunmen. The victim was murdered over the weekend at Court Area Oposi community in the Oha Ozara local government area of Ebonyi State. Confirming the incident on Monday, the police spokesperson, SP Joshua Ukandu, said the command was investigating the killing, adding that officers had been deployed to the area. He also noted that normalcy had since returned. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Oha Ozara local government area, Aja Chinonso Consider, has said that extrajudicial killings in Oha Ozara must stop. According to a statement, as part of a preventive and proactive measure, movement of motorcycles and tricycles in and out of Oposi between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. daily has been prohibited with immediate effect. And now in Kano, the Kano State Police Command says the renewed fight against criminals in the state through Operation Kukankura is recording successes with the arrest of 107 suspects involved in various crimes in the state. Police Commissioner Adamuba Kori, who addressed newsmen on Monday, said the operation extended to the 44 local government areas has significantly reduced thuggery-related violence, also known as Fatlan Dabba, across the state. According to him, the steady decline in criminal activities in the state underscores the effectiveness of the strategy and the vital role played by community members in supporting the implementation of the initiative. Bakori said in the month of August alone, the command succeeded in arresting 107 suspects involved in various major crimes such as armed robbery, illicit drug trafficking, motor vehicle and motorcycle theft, thuggery and other social vices. Items recovered from the suspects, the CP said, are 1 AK-47 rifle, 2 fabricated guns, 11 live ammunition, 102 cutlasses, 74 knives and 101 parcels, 458 wraps of dried leaves suspected to be cannabis sativa, amongst others. This is News Update on Trust TV coming up ahead. Kano maize farmers' roasters count losses amid falling prices. This and many more when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back from the break. In case you just joined in, this is News Update on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Finnish court sentences Simon Ekpa to 6 years in prison for terrorism offenses. And coalition sues police over political gathering ban. Now moving on to more stories, the seasonal drop in maize prices, which is now affecting one of Nigeria's most consumed staples, has opened an unexpected window of opportunity. Once dominated by women, the maize roasting trade is now taken over by young boys. For some, it's simply a means of livelihood, but behind the coal grills lies a deeper story of displacement, hardship, and survival. Trust TV's Abdulaziz Ibrahim completes the report.
Across cities in Nigeria, roasted maize remains a street favorite. But this season, something has changed. At many stores, women are noticeably absent, replaced by young boys manning the grills. At Karfi, one of Kano's major maize depots, traders and women retailers share their frustrations.
Before we are buying this con 60,000, 50. Now you come down 30, 35, 25. No, they get markets like that.
The reason for the loss is the lack of patronage. Despite the fall in price, the returns are not encouraging enough to continue the business. I buy 4 bags daily and take them into the city to sell. But unlike before, business is slow. At the end of the day, it's very difficult. With many women stepping away from the trade, young boys are stepping in, not just for profit, but for survival. This seasonal hustle provides them with a steady income and for some, a glimpse of hope. We quit school last year and started this to make a living. It's better than sitting idle. Some days we make about 5,000 naira from a bag we buy at 35,000 naira. Despite the temporary market boom, the pressure on farmers is mounting. Dealers warn that economic instability, high transport costs, and unpredictable prices are squeezing everyone across the supply chain. When we harvested this crop, we hoped to sell and raise money for fertilizer for the next planting season. But for now, since we can't even earn enough, the next harvest will most likely be worse than this one. From women losing their livelihoods to boys giving up school to farmers struggling to stay afloat, this Maize season reveals a story much deeper than food. It's a sobering reminder of Nigeria's worsening economic challenges and a call to action that can no longer be ignored.
And now in business, the federal government is offering investors up to 16.541% per annum in the September 2025 savings bonds. In a circular published by the Debt Management Office, DMO, on Monday, the subscription window will close on Friday, September 5th, 2025. While the settlement is scheduled for September 10th, 2025, interest payments will be made quarterly by March 10th, June 10th, September 10th, and December 10th directly to investors. A DMO offered investors two subscription categories of the federal government of Nigeria's savings bond. The first is a 2-year bond, which will mature on September 10th, 2027, and carries an annual interest rate of 15.541%. The second is a 3-year bond set to mature on September 10th, 2028, with a higher annual interest rate of 16.541%. Yeah. Now, farmers and security experts have welcomed the federal government's introduction of forest guards across the country aimed at tackling insecurity. While agreeing that the initiative could significantly boost agricultural productivity and enhance the safety of rural communities, they also expressed concerns about implementation. Trust TV's Ado Musa completes the report.
Terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers have unleashed relentless attacks across Nigeria, claiming lives and displacing farmers from their lands. In response, the federal government has announced plans to recruit about 130,000 armed forest guards to secure the country's 1,129 forest reserves. This move comes years after the 2019 establishment of Agro Rangers, a unit under the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, inaugurated by the late President Muhammadu Buhari. In Jos, Plateau State, farmer son John expressed delight over the latest development, calling it a positive step toward restoring peace in farming communities.
I think it's a very good welcome development by the government to look at the issue of insecurity and the challenges the farmers are facing in this country. It will serve a long way by protecting the farmers to have food security, to have food security in the country, because banditry affects farmers going to their farm to cultivate their land. And then for that reason, I think we'll have shortages of food supply within the country.
Farmer John, who said the introduction of the forest guard will boost farming and security of lives and property in the country, expressed concern over the implementation of the project, noting that in the past, various policies were made but not implemented.
They make policies without implementing them. They will have a very good policies. This policy is a very good one. But if they can put it in place, full implemented, I think it should go into legislative. And when they pass it, they should use all the mechanism within their power, and then within the machineries they have. That is the resources on ground. I think the rangers, agro rangers, will now make the society look very boostful in agricultural productivity.
Retired police superintendent and security expert Abubakar Dashe also weighed in on the initiative.
They have different rules to play, even though they have to work hand in hand as security outfit. But then the agro rangers, they are going to be trained. Those working with farmers, agro rangers, you know, they will have a special skill that will take care of the farmers. Forest guards, they are only for forest protection and against bringing down our trees, killing our animals in the bush that are going extinct. So it is a welcome, it is not a duplication.
With both farmers and security professionals cautiously optimistic, the success of the Forest Guard initiative may depend not on the idea itself, but on how well it is implemented. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Now, away from Nigeria, a massive rescue operation was underway in Afghanistan on Monday after a strong earthquake and multiple aftershocks collapsed homes onto sleeping families in a remote mountainous region, killing more than 800 people, according to the Taliban authorities. The 6.0 magnitude earthquake struck just before midnight, rattling buildings from Kabul to neighboring Pakistan's capital, Islamabad. More than 1.2 million people likely felt strong or very strong shaking, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, which recorded at least 5 aftershocks throughout night. Casualties and destruction swept across at least 5 provinces. Near the epicenter in eastern Afghanistan, around 800 people were killed and 2,500 injured in remote Kunar province alone, Chief Taliban government spokesman Zabihullah Majid said. Another 12 people were killed and 255 were injured in neighboring Nangarhar province, where 58 people were injured in Lagman province. And now in sports, Captain William Truce Ekong, Bruno Onyemechi and Amas Obasogie are the early arrivals in Uyo as the Super Eagles open camp for the crucial 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda and Zimbabwe on Monday. The 3 players breezed into the team's 4 points by Sheraton Hotel base on Monday morning. Truce Ekong and goalkeeper Obasogie arrived the camp together and were later joined by Onyemchi. More players are expected to hit the camp later today. Head coach Eric Chell invited 23 players for the qualifiers. The team will have their first official training on Tuesday. The session will hold at the practice pitch of the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo. And that's a wrap on news updates. Do not forget to follow us across all social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentaries. My name is Dorcas Yakubuzala. Thank you for watching.